motivation. Watch Top 10 Rules with AKSHAY PARMAR.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
See, fighting's an art, and everything's an art in fighting. Intimidation is an art. Everything's an psychological warfare. Everything's an art. You know what I mean? It's almost like acting. It's almost how good an actor do you want to become? How far are you willing to become the best? I did a robbery of my friend's sister. Told me I think to come to the courtroom with the teacher. You know, she's a criminal, she's a thief too, but she came and told on me.
Right.
You know, and I went to a spa fit, a reformatory for kids in the Bronx. I was getting in trouble. I think I stabbed somebody there so they shipped me to another place that was really horrible.
Is that Triron?
Yeah. When I went there, I got in trouble and they sent me to the lockup door where you can't go outside, where they bring the food to you. It's just really crazy stuff. I'm just a kid, you know, it's like...
Yeah, see, that's what I wanted to ask you. Are you afraid? I mean, what's going on with my life? What kind of life is this?
No, because when I go in that place, everybody from Brownsville are in these places, so it's like I'm at a family reunion or... I'm at a family reunion, you know, the 20-year reunion of school. This is, hey, what's up, y'all, my man? Yo, you better give him what he wants. They're telling these guys and God, when all these guys get together. And really the worst thing that ever happened to me, I got sent to the college where they lock you up. You can't come out to call the clothes. And it was this Irish guy in there named Bobby Stewart. And this guy would take all the guys over there, and they're coming back on them from the other side with like broken noses and cracked ribs, and they punching out. But they're happy. So I'm looking, I said, what's up with these guys? What's up? We're boxing Mr. Stewart over there today. So I said, I looked at Mr. Stewart, I can kick Mr. Stewart ass. So I'm looking at this guy, and so, no, this is really serious stuff. I go in there and stuff, and he's an arrogant Mr. Stewart too, right? So I'm just wailing away, I'm wailing. I don't know anything about fight, but I'm just wailing. And he hit me in the stomach, and anything I must have ate for 2 weeks came up. And after he did, I said, sir, can you teach me how to do that? I never thought about it, but I wanted to knock out some people in the street so I could steal their money. All right, so if you want to learn, you just do your room, clean your room, and do good in school. But I did all that stuff. Man, I didn't know how to spell cat, but I was getting my little honor rolls in this juvenile detention, right? And he starts teaching me this stuff, right? I turned into this model thug guy. I'm talking real nice like that. Sir, no ma'am, I'm really like this Thomas black kid. Yes ma'am, no sir, yes. Yeah. And this is a person that wants to improve himself. He didn't like his life, he wants to improve it. And so I understand that now. I didn't understand that back then. So anyway, I went over there and he told me that we could take you. I don't want you to go back to Brooklyn because you're gonna get killed or you're gonna go to prison. And I'm saying, yeah, most likely, yeah. So he took me to meet Cuz, and so when I met him, Cuz said, do you want to be I'm told him, do you want to be heavyweight champion? Well, I'll make you the youngest heavyweight champion in the world. So I think this guy's a pervert, because, you know, coming through the streets and being a young kid, I didn't know. I said, no, but this guy, he said, you could be great, and you can help your friends and your family, but I didn't get it, and I didn't know what great was. I was just a young, ignorant cat, I didn't know. He said, do you know what that means to be great? No, sir. And he said, it's like just doing the most difficult thing in the world, but do it with the simplest of ease. And I said, wow, did y'all hear what I said? I said, okay. I'm like 30, I said, okay. And I believed him, I started working.
What do you think are some of the biggest lessons you learned about who you were 20 years ago compared to who you are now?
Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to accept who you are. You know, sometimes I see young kids out here and they commit suicide and they don't like who they are and they're in prison. And it's really difficult, you know, to accept who you are in this world because really we don't know. But then in order to have friendship, you have to be put in this particular kind of, I don't know, you have to be labeled, so to speak, you know? So we don't know who we are until we get, I guess, to a certain degree of evolution.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you knew who you were when you were 20, 25?
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you were the world champ at 20.
I had no idea what was going on outside of that. Know what the world was really about, and we had to really
be accountable, hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
I had no idea what that was all about.
You
in another world.
Did you feel like you held yourself accountable to anything except for your training and dominating in the sport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hold myself accountable for.
Yeah.
When I was younger, yeah.
When did you feel like you started to realize who you were?
When I got married for a third time, my wife Kiki, we really had to. What can I establish by saying we had to really make a choice what we wanted to do in our life right there. We were really at a really bad no-win situation, and we had to establish some kind of foundation for our life. So that's really when I had to see what I was made out of.
You still believe today that you should never back down from a fight?
I don't know, I believe we should choose our battles.
Okay.
You know, because I realize in life, and I know people are probably not like what I'm going to say, I found out this.
Overcome the triggers today still from the triggers of your past. I think I read that you were got arrested 30-something times before you were a teenager.
Yeah.
So it seemed like everything triggered you then, right?
But from that perspective, everything changes when my classes change. You know, I never understood my struggle. You know, I had everything I wanted, but still I was fighting the light. My dark spirit was still fighting the light. That was my struggle. I couldn't get anything done. You know,
you were winning everything. You were at the top of the world, but what was the big struggle internally for you during those highest moments where everyone wanted to,
Well, it didn't appear real because at that time I lost my mentor. Everybody was dying, and because when I met them when they were pretty old and I was very young.
Yeah.
And everybody started dying, and I didn't understand that. I started thinking, they were old when they met you. They were 57, or close to 60 when they met you, Mike. So, of course, they were going to die eventually.
Yeah.
You become a man, these guys are going to die. And I don't know, I couldn't deal with that for a minute. And then the world just came in on me, and it was overwhelming. I just had to learn from life experiences how to conduct myself.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that your image in the public eye has been so rehabilitated? You do get a lot of love now, man.
Well, I just had to, I had to try to love myself. You know, that's what it really comes down to. I had to deal with that challenge and starting to love myself realer and deeper. And for me, it's different perspectives, not from love to say how great I am, how grand I am, but to really look at the baseline, bottom line characteristics of who I am. And by doing that, you know, it's gonna require a whole bunch of struggle, a whole bunch of thinking, a whole bunch of reflecting, and let's not forget and mention a whole bunch of therapy, you know. But it's just the unlingering feeling of unfreedom sometimes, and that feeling is such a essential part of my identity than anything else.
How would you describe your neighborhood?
It's really drug infested, violence infested, crime infested, just a big cesspool most of the time.
When did you want to be a fighter?
I never thought about being a fighter till I was in a detention school, and a gentleman by the name of Bobby Stewart would box with the kids if they behaved well and got on the levels, and they could blow up some steam, and then he started showing me how to box. I never had a pair of boxing gloves on in my life. I was probably 12, 13. I never had a pair of boxing gloves on in my life. And he said, you can do this. Since I started training with him, and then he took me to Custom Model, and he said, if you could change your life and not have to go back to,
Your 20-year-old or 25-year-old self was sitting right here where I'm at, and you could sit down and have a conversation with him. What would you want to say to him?
You know, that he should prepare on developing what makes him happy in life, and strive on developing that and cultivating that, what makes you happy. And have that strong alliance within yourself on what makes you happy, and never break that. Because that's all of our really trick. When we get $100 million really, what is happiness? I don't mean ha 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 hoo 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 ha he's funny. What is the essence of happiness? What does that mean? Everybody has a different definition. Well, we got 7 billion people. I'm sure 7 billion different definitions. You know, some people may have dark happiness. They like to do dark stuff and that makes them happy, but it's still happy. So what makes necessarily happy a good thing?
What makes you happy?
Simple stuff. And I don't know if that's happy. I take it for granted sometimes, like everyone else is my kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Not have to, you know, not worried about going to prison, not worried about paying my bills and having my lights on and my lights being cut off or my water being cut off, It's being stable in my life.
Yeah. So you would tell him to start pursuing happiness more?
You know, that's the word I would use, you know, but that's the only thing that's going to stimulate us.
Yeah.
You know, with drugs, I don't know if it's happiness, we call it happiness.
Sure.
Why is it the word happiness that makes us think this is something that we should, you know what I mean, ascend to?
Yeah.
Why happiness? Because we look at we look at the response of happiness, what it looks like.
Yeah.
And we should always ascend to happiness.
This is one of my causes that I'm going to eventually is mental illness. Do you know how many people are in prison that need to be in a mental hospital? They need to be in a hospital, and that's not getting any kind of interest in play or foresight, because we're walking around with people who are they're functioning people. They can hold jobs, they can hold family, but every now and then they get sick and they do things that are just not acceptable in society. So they need to, and this is another problem. They misdiagnose these people, you know, because I'm one of these people. I've been in and out of psych wards for a bunch of years, right? This is a 10-year thing. Because that's what drugs lead you to. It leads you to prisons, psych wards, and death. You know, and I was on the verge of going to the last one, but praise be to God. But anyway, it's just a struggle, and it's going to take a nation to help.
What would you say your final diagnosis is? What do you think Mike Tyson's your mental issue is? If you know, and not to say that in a dramatic way, a lot of people have mental issues. I personally take Lexapro. I'm generally.
I took that too. That's
smooth. It's smooth. I don't need that much.
Not heavy smooth, but it's smooth.
I'm
not like boom. You know?
No, I'm just 10 milligrams. I just need a little bit to keep it. What do you A? What do you take now? And B was the one thing.
I don't take anything now.
No medication.
Nothing at all. Thank God I went through a change in my living style, my eating process. I had great support from my wife, Lakia. Oh, she's just she's just a paramount in my life, and I get mad at her, and I'm just mad that she dug me out the gutter and cleaned me up. You know, I'm mad that I didn't do it myself. Sometimes I battle with her because of that. And I just I owe a great deal of my blossom into a functional human being in society to her.
This is Mike Tyson, and we're on Unboxing. And at the moment, we're gonna unbox strawberry shortcake. This is very difficult to unbox because, as you know, they have strong adhesive tape around here. And so, since I don't have no box cutter, I must do it very violently, but in a good mood. I'm a pessimist. Oh, wow. We have all these wires here that'll be very difficult to get her out the box. But I'm gonna try to do this as scientifically as possible. Oh, this is just beautiful. Please forgive me, shortcake. She reminds me of a dancer in Vegas named Desire. Okay? So I accidentally ripped a little bit of her hair out. And as I comb her hair, it begins to look better, and nice, and pretty, and cute. I really like strawberry shortcake. And so I like to say, I am Mike Tyson on Unboxing Boxes.
All right, the man who had the biggest impact on your life was, God bless his soul, Gus D'Amato.
Yeah.
And now, do you feel Mike Tyson needs a cuz to guide him through business, this type of business?
Hey, listen, we're gonna work this out. It's the same way, you know, in having a mentor, having somebody that means much in your life, you know, it comes a time when you have to separate, and you have to, you have to see all the teachings, how they're gonna work.